Fantastic.
Oh, sorry.
I liked it. It was,
Okay.
to me, it was like, I think it's hit a nerve because it's like the perfect autumnal viewing.
Yes, it's Hallmark.
It's Hallmark.
It's Hallmark. I'll give
Who
you that.
doesn't love it? Well, you don't love a bit of Hallmark, clearly. I bet you don't even get a soup sign of excitement when Hallmark Christmas Channel comes out,
No, I
do you?
love
I
Actually.
wouldn't bother, Shadia. We're already rolling, babe.
Love Actually would be way up here in terms of Hallmark movies.
How dare you like Love Actually? You
I
prefer...
would watch it till the cows come home.
Well, you already have. Who hasn't watched Love Actually 50 times? Even when it's on, I feel annoyed with myself that I'm watching it again.
Yeah, but you can't help it, can you?
Yeah, I'll happily turn it over.
Nobody wants
Do you know what
this.
I'd turn it over for? I'd turn it over for Nobody Wants This.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No.
Yes, I would. I'd turn it over for Darling Buds and May. I would turn it over for Law and Order and Poirot and Miss Marple.
Yeah, but you're comparing apples and pears, aren't you?
Well, whereas you're just
Apples and
hating
oranges.
everything that's
Apples and
joyful.
pears.
So what's your
No.
favourite TV show then? Hi, everyone. Ruth's on the pod this week.
Hi. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, obviously. Oy vey.
Dexter.
Yeah, I didn't do Dexter. I should, because everyone I know loves Dexter.
Mr. In Between.
What the fuck is that?
Oh.
Here we go.
You
This
have
could be an hour-long podcast
Right,
about
it's
Netflix.
about an Australian hitman.
Oh, what is
Yeah,
it
no,
with
no.
you and hitmen?
It's just something about them.
But you're not cynical about that, no?
No, right, so it's dark.
Oh,
It's really dark comedy. It's so funny. You'll love it. You'll love
Yeah,
it.
who's in
it's
it?
It's really
Someone that
brutal.
irritates
Just
me.
one man. This bald man. Can't remember his name, sorry. He was in something else called...
Who's Mr. In Between? Anyone know?
Can somebody Google? Yeah, I mean...
It's clearly really popular.
You won't
not.
know his name.
But what's it on?
It's niche. It's brilliant. Scott Ryan.
No clue.
It's proper
Is
Australian
he
humour.
a hot rabbi?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
No. You'll like it. I tell you what, when you watch it this weekend and you message me,
Okay.
I
What's
want you
it on?
to edit this podcast.
I will. I'll put Disney. Okay.
Yeah, it's so not Disney. I mean, it's on Disney, apparently, but
so
it
the
is
Kardashians.
not.
That's not exactly little girl content, is
No,
it?
that's true. Yeah. Voice from Frozen. I love her. She's got the voice from Frozen.
Okay, why? Let me just ask Ruth how not to be a supermodel, Crilly. When did you become a cold-hearted, cynical bitch? We have this conversation every time.
25 years ago?
Here's my theory,
Yeah.
right? My theory is that you and Rich have this pathological need, psychotic need, to dislike anything that's popular. No. Yes, you do.
Honestly.
Right, what's the last show you really liked that isn't 25 years old? See?
No, hold on.
No, go on. Curb Your Enthusiasm. You've had that.
Monsters.
That irritated me. I had to turn it off.
Why?
Because I think they're guilty as shit.
Oh, this is
No,
controversial
it's
now.
not. No, it's not.
I think...
Not being funny. Like someone said in the comments when I did live, someone went, I'm not being funny, mate. But if your parents were abusing you, just run away from home like the rest of us fucking did. You don't have to shoot them in the face.
Right, so...
Trigger warning, too late.
What I think...
And the constant talk about the sexual abuse. I'm like, but nobody knew. Nobody. You didn't talk about it to anyone except each other.
I feel like you've got extra context for it,
And
though,
also the wig
because
freaked me
you
out.
knew about it all when it was
I've got
going on,
extra
right?
context.
So I didn't. I just
Everyone I
started
know in
watching
LA
Monsters.
says guilty as sin. They were
I
after the
didn't
money.
even realise it was a true thing until halfway through, in
God,
which
I
went,
love
you know
you
this
so
is
much.
true.
I can't.
Right, so...
How did you not know it was true?
Because I don't like to read around the subject. I like to go in cold.
This is why, you know, that there was that time, right, where we were big in the blogging world when that used to exist, like Blogspot.
When?
Okay, blogging world.
Substack
Yeah,
bestseller.
I'm talking about blogspot.co.uk, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when people said, would you two do Celebrity Gogglebox? This is why we could never do it, because you don't like to know anything and I have to IMDb everything.
But that's why it'd be brilliant.
I'd get really annoyed and go, I know the end now, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, but I bet you watch on your phone the whole time. I bet you watch TV with your phone in your hand, don't you?
and my
We're
iPad.
not. We leave ours in a separate room. We
Aren't
properly
you fucking
engage.
Mr. and Mrs. Bright.
We properly engage with what we're watching.
Sorry, did you just go,
So I'm not
we
gonna-
properly engage?
Yeah.
What was
I'm
that,
not gonna-
TV?
Oh, yeah.
For scale.
That's the size
We
of our
properly
telly.
engage.
We're old school. I'm not
Do you
listening
remember
to any
Rich's
of your
face when he came
opinions
to
now.
ours and saw the size of the TV? He came out of the room and he went, I always wanted a TV that big, but she won't let me.
And I won't have one in the bedroom either.
I haven't got one in the bedroom.
Haven't you?
No.
No. I'm surprised by that. Do you, though? Do you watch with your phone in your hand?
Yeah.
And I bet you're doing other things at the same time. Yeah, no.
I didn't.
I'm not going to
with
listen to your
Nobody Wants
ratings
This.
on things.
I didn't with Nobody Wants This because I was engrossed. Sure. Why?
Right, to be fair, I've only done 3 of them. Maybe it gets better. The Kiss, though, everyone was like, oh my God, The Kiss made me go funny inside. And I was thinking...
Oh, it didn't make me go funny inside.
You have not had...
You not had a snog.
You know...
You haven't had a model photographer snog like you have clearly. I never look at you two like that. It's so weird.
No, that's because we know there's
You're just
no
not like
public
that.
display of affection whatsoever.
You don't even acknowledge each other in public.
I would.
Rich wouldn't.
No.
Do you know what we should do at Christmas?
Yeah.
Right, we should. I'll be
Mistletoe.
filming it. No, you should
Oh.
I'll hold the mistletoe. We'll make him really
Please.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or you should just walk up and try and hold hands with him and see how he jumps. Like literally, just try and link.
He would just look as if, what
what
are you doing? It would be, you know, if you went up to someone and sort of put an orange in their hand or something, and they would look at you like, what the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
That is the look that I would get. So Monsters, really enjoyed.
I got to like episode 6, 7. I got sick of them whinging and turned
Perfect
it off.
Couple.
What's that? Oh, that really annoyed me
I enjoyed that though.
because it had leaf sugar in it. That's why. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a guttural? You're right there.
Ray Donovan.
All day
His
long.
face has got rounder and rounder, hasn't
Chipmunk.
it? He was like a chipmunk, but still.
You were about to say still I would then, and you paused thinking
Yeah.
we were on something like How to Fail or
I
something
had-
really high end
I-
or Table Manners.
I
That
had
Lenny and
forgotten.
Jesse were sitting there, and then you went, oh, I would.
I'm going to have to remember that we're not actually on our own.
No, they don't care. They don't count. What's that?
Well-
7 people.
I know it's 7 people, but then how many other people?
They already know you, love. That jig is up. I wouldn't worry. So, Ruth, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Got anything to promote?
Hold on, let me rack my brain. Just the book.
Sorry, are you a Sunday Times best-selling author?
I don't know. Let me just check. Oh, yes, I am, Caroline. Yes, I am an instant Sunday
Instant
Times
Sunday
bestseller.
Times bestseller. Well done, mate.
Your favourite book of the year,
My favourite book of the year.
apart from the
Well, now
Lisa
I'm
Marie
reading.
Presley.
Now I'm reading Riley Keough, and I'm not going to lie, she's Piptich #1 because it's very, very like I can't put it down. Yours I put down when I got to bits I knew.
Right, can we cut that bit out, please? Because we need the full endorsement.
It will be a full
I
endorsement.
bet you read and with your phone in your hand as well.
No, I
didn't
didn't
you?
because you didn't give me a light book. It's a heavy one, and you gave me like a proof, and it weighs 4 pounds, so I had to hold it with both hands. And you wrote a lovely note in it that said, "I hope you love this as much as I love you." And I just thought, you liar.
I know. As I wrote it, I was like, oh, you know, when you get halfway through and you can't think of something good to say, and also the pen
Cheers,
was
mate.
the pen. Well, no, I didn't want it to be soppy, and I didn't want it to be offensive. Right?
Why? That's how we communicate.
I didn't know whether it would be lost if it's a signing of something that's supposed to be special. I didn't know whether it would be sort of.
It wasn't even the real book.
I know.
How special was it?
Lost
It
in
wasn't even
translation.
finished.
They made me do it. They made me sign all of those proof copies, and the pen was massive, and that really put me off my stride. Honestly, every single book I signed of those proof copies,
I
I
want to
wrote
know who
something
else you
stupid
sent them
in.
to.
Sally,
Caitlin Moran, obviously, because she got the cover quote. I didn't get asked for a cover quote.
do you know? I'll tell you after why I didn't, because you won't want it on camera.
Okay, then.
It was about something else.
Okay, great.
You
Can't
also
wait.
did, and it put me off asking you.
Well, what did I do? Who? Oh, yeah. No, yeah, fair
Sorry,
play.
everyone.
We'll discuss that afterwards.
Yeah,
Good
and I
move. Well
thought-
done.
Yeah,
Good
and
move,
I
well
thought
done.
I didn't want to put you in
Would
the
have been
position.
different, though. Would have been
Would it?
different. Oh, 1,000%. How dare you?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Do you know
It's
what?
fine.
Paperback.
Caitlin's bigger than me. It's fine.
Paperback.
Always time for the paperback, folks.
Yeah.
Always time for the paperback.
And they sell more, don't they?
Yeah.
Paperback. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Also easier to hold when your mate gives you one and you can't hold it in bed because it's fucking heavy.
Also, you're all over the audiobook.
I am all
mean,
over the audiobook. That was a funny recording.
and you don't even have to hold
Kind of
that.
like this lot, where they're all like that. They didn't really know what to expect when we sat down to record the
No.
audiobook. There was like, okay, we're ready to start. And we're like, well, we've been talking for 25 minutes. I don't know what you've been recording.
I feel as though they were slightly
Terrified.
overwhelmed.
I don't know why.
Especially as I didn't even have a book with me, did I?
No, I had to like
You
make it
had
up.
the book.
I bought the book.
I'm holding it at this really awkward angle.
You can put it down now.
Like
It can
this.
stay here.
Can I open it like this so
Oh,
it stays in the middle?
God. Okay, go on then.
Do you want yours in there as well? Look?
No, they're fine. They're out the way. It's fine.
Since when have you had a pink one of these?
Well, if you followed my content, you'd know it was a limited edition for Waterstones.
Oh, well, I
5,000
didn't.
copies only available.
What now?
Oh, there's probably some left, yeah.
Oh, right. It's not like this week.
No, love. No, if it was this week, it'd be on here with yours.
Matches my
How?
cover.
Can we
Sorry.
just go be serious for 5 minutes before we get shouted at? Because Danny's very pregnant. She'll give birth by the time we've done this, okay?
And then you have to name the child Caroline or Ruth.
Caroline Ruth sits better than Ruth Caroline, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But
I
she's
don't
actually...
know. Ruth Caroline
I think
sounds
she's-
real
she's
Little
having a
House on
boy,
the Prairie,
so that's
doesn't
not
it?
going to work anyway. So don't worry about it.
Oh, right. No, maybe not then.
Book.
Yeah.
I was surprised
Did you know I'd done a book?
That this came out before your novel, because you wrote a novel ages ago,
Yeah.
and you were trying to get it published. And I think people, I was like, well, it's because they think you're a blonde model.
Yeah.
Like Dolly Parton says, I'm not dumb and I'm certainly not blonde, right? So what happened? How did you get it to here?
So the novel, I'd written a novel.
Because you is quite clever, innit?
In it.
How many uni degree things have you got? That kind of education level?
I don't know. Is that an indication of?
In your case, no, but it's quite impressive for people at home.
I have zero common sense.
Zero street
Which
smarts.
would argue that
Zero street smarts.
Yeah,
That's
street
okay. We balance
smarts,
each
I'm
other
all right.
out.
It's just
PhD can walk across Shepherd's Bush Green at 2 a.m. with no fear. We'll be good together.
That's because you're about 7 foot tall.
I thought it was because I was in West London, innit?
No,
West London.
I'd say I'm pretty street smart. I mean, I've been around and around the world.
All right, love.
but
Don't slag yourself off.
I don't have any common sense. What were we talking about?
Book,
right, so
education, book, and things.
at the end of my modelling career,
Which was when?
sort of tapering off 2009, 2010.
Just as I met you. Clearly, you thought there are better things ahead for me.
I met you and I thought, I've got no chance now. I may as well give up. Okay, now here comes Christy Turlington.
I actually prefer Helena Christensen, but thank you for I'll take that adjacency.
Yeah, any of them.
I'm as bendy as Christy Turlington for sure.
Bendy?
Yeah, she's like a yoga goddess.
She?
Do you remember that Vogue
Are
cover
you
where she's
bendy?
doing that? Do you remember that Vogue cover where she's doing the upside? Anyway, forget it. Move on. We'll put a picture up. I'll find it. For God's sake.
Oh, there's just too many tangents.
Could you
I feel
just
like I'm in an
focus?
Eddie Izzard sketch. Right. So that was all tapering off, and I had done, while I was modelling, I'd done a load of Open University courses, creative writing,
As one does.
and a literature degree.
See, I wasn't lying.
First class honours. Then I went back and I did some journalism stuff and some more creative writing stuff. And then as my modelling career was petering out and I was thinking, shit, what? And Rich was saying, are you planning on having another job at all in your adult life? Or
No,
is
he
this,
can take care of you. It's
is
fine.
this it? I was thinking, God, all I want to do is write.
Mm-hmm.
But how... in those days, it wasn't as though you could go online and there were a million other people saying, this is how I got my book deal. No. Or, go get it, Queen, you can do it. It just wasn't like that. That's
Is
a
that
new
what
thing.
they do now?
Yeah.
Go get it, Queen.
I mean, virtually, isn't it? It's that thing of everyone can be a winner.
Everyone's a
Everyone can
winner,
do
babe.
It.
Like
Everyone
Hot
can do it if
Chocolate
they put
said.
their mind to it, which is the biggest
Lost
modern
on her.
lie.
No one knows that song.
I
Okay,
do,
move on.
but you're going to put me off my stride again.
Sorry.
For God's sake, it's always a lyric that comes along. So there wasn't anyone out there saying, you can go and do
write a
it.
book, yeah.
And so I started a master's in creative writing at Royal Holloway, or was it English or something like that? Anyway, it was stuff.
Something highfalutin.
Yeah. And as I was doing that, I started the blog. But I was writing a novel then. In a way, I feel like if I had gone with that literary agent before the whole blog thing had ever happened and sent out, hello,
You just deafen Danny.
should I do that thing where they
No,
do their
please
nails
don't
on
do
the
that.
thing?
We don't do
On the
ASMR. Now
products.
who's gone off on a tangent? Would you like some of my ADHD meds? Because I don't really take them anymore. Can you tell?
I've had a can of Coke.
I can tell. We know.
It's like I'm on speed. God, what the hell was I talking about?
Literary agent that you didn't go with.
Yeah, I reckon that
Bring you
would
back in the
have,
room.
that would have happened. That could have happened then. But then when I started sending it out through different literary agent, when I had the huge blog following, everybody loved it, but they all said, we want you to write something that harnesses your audience. Why can't you write about lipstick? So many people, quite literally, that's what it said in the email back. Love your writing. It's perfect. It's the most polished manuscript we've seen in years. It's perfect, but you need to do
write about
something that your
lipstick.
audience will relate to.
As if women wouldn't relate to a novel. Oh, don't.
But they want, the salespeople who seem to be more in control of it than people that actually do the editorial side of it. They've got to see where they're going to sell it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know all this from doing your book.
Plural.
Sorry, yeah. They've all got the same title, though.
Books.
Oh, sorry,
no,
that
they
one's
haven't
the new edit.
actually. Thank you, best mate. Jesus Christ.
I've got to do a little burp. When the bubble comes up.
Wow. Okay.
Right, okay.
You feel better now, yeah? And we're back in the room.
I do.
So you wrote your novel, but they wanted something about lipstick.
Yeah, it's coming again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's okay, we've got good outtakes now.
This is what happens when you have a
Fat
whole
Coke.
can of fat Coke before you start talking.
You drank it in about 3 seconds.
I never do that.
You literally...
Normally it takes me an hour.
You were on that like a gannet.
I didn't want to have it here. I don't
No.
want to lower the tone.
We don't want to advertise. We're not Stephen Bartlett with Huel all over the place.
That's not what he does.
Oh, yeah.
What's Huel?
Huel, you know, the protein drinks.
Huel.
This podcast is brought to you by Huel.
Well, what is it though? Huel.
It's a brand that I invested in because I thought it was very, very good.
Huel.
Huel, like
oh
fuel.
God, that's a horrible
like
word,
fuel,
isn't it?
but Huel.
It's really hard. Huel. Anyway, so yeah.
Anyway.
This came first. And because I really, really wanted to write fiction, all I ever wanted to write was fiction. When they started saying non-fiction, I was like, oh no. Because the least interesting person, I think, is myself.
Yeah.
But actually, when I started writing the stories about things that had happened, I quite liked the structure of having to keep to the truth. So it gives you these quite handy boundaries. So you know how you have to structure a chapter because that's what happened. But it's still, it's still allowed for this huge breadth of creative interpretation of things that had happened.
Yeah, because it's not like you just you didn't sort of just
I don't
record
record.
it into a voice
No.
note and then just have it transcribed because you set the scene.
It's
Like,
not your typical
it's
memoir.
Like, it's like you talking,
Yeah.
which is very entertaining.
And it's stories, it reads a little bit like fiction. You could take me out of it and put in anyone else and it would not matter who it had happened to
And
in a
also
way.
it's broken up in a way that makes it easy to read. It's not
Yeah.
like some kind of long, Moby Dick where you're like, Jesus, make this end.
It's not too self-centered,
No.
not like nobody.
Where are we going with that?
I was going to go back to the woman from Frozen.
Oh my God. Let
I'm
it
obsessed.
go. Let it go.
I can't let it go.
And Ruth, it's because she's the voice in Frozen. That's where I was coming from.
Do you know what?
Jesus Christ, it's just lost.
no,
Every
I
cultural
did
media
got that.
reference I make is just lost on
I
you.
did get it. I just thought it was,
Lame, and you didn't want to respond.
Yeah,
okay, you didn't want to
kind
be down to my level. Okay.
Had I closed my eyes watching the first episode of that, though, I don't think that I would have recognised her voice.
No. Well, maybe she's a bit of a chameleon. Maybe that's one of her talents.
Was she a child when she...
No!
How old is she now?
She's got to be in her 40s.
What?
Of course she is. How old's Kristen Bell? Everyone goes. I
Wow,
like
she
Kristen
looks
Bell for the
good.
record. Thank you. Yes, I like her.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like her.
44.
No
There
way.
you go.
Wow. Okay.
Food for thought.
It's not her. It's just the character I found slightly...
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We can't go there again. We've already decimated
okay,
it. I,
fine,
for the
fine.
record, was standing up for it. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm only on 3, so who
Well, you're
knows
not
what's
going to do
going to
number
happen.
4, 5, 6 if Rich is sitting there going, this is shit.
He didn't say it was shit. He just was very quiet with no real comment.
Because he's bored.
Yeah.
And thinking, did he not do his usual, well, this is rubbish. This would never happen in the real world.
No, he looked at me about 22 minutes through the first one and went, I don't think I can do this. That's what he does when he doesn't want to upset me.
I knew to not watch it with Jim because it would be exactly the same, but he would do it after the titles. He'd be like, absolutely not, I'm out. And he'd just leave the room.
There were inklings of that when I did the side eye, and you look at
You're like,
peripheral
are they
vision.
enjoying it? Or is he just like this?
Yeah, no, because the phones
You
are in a
don't have your
different room.
phones. You two with your rules.
Well, the thing is, we do 1 hour of TV. The kids have gone to bed
Right.
with any luck. And that is just a time where we both, the one time in the day
Where
when
you're
we're both
present for each
together.
other while you watch telly.
Yes! We're so present. We just connect
You really connect over
via the triangulation of the television
TV.
screen. Yeah,
great. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to get this made into a miniseries?
Oh, can you
I
imagine?
can see Jackie Collins written all over it.
Yeah, it would be so good.
It would be very funny. I mean, we'd have to find a red fur, number one.
Do you know, I went on eBay and Vinted the other day
Try and find
looking for that coat,
Who made it again?
Ghost.
Uh,
I'd love to buy that back.
that would be fantastic. If
Do
anyone
you know, I
has
sold it for 80 quid.
Why would you do that?
80 quid. Because it was massive and I lived in a flat. I mean, honestly,
And I was not massive.
if you had it in here and it was on that rail over in the corner, you would have to take everything else off that rail. It would take up the whole rail. It was, in fact, the rail would just collapse.
You'll just have to read the story, guys. It's very entertaining.
I mean, I did properly die myself. But this is the thing, like the hair, right? It's just a succession of bad decisions. And I think I've got that thing. Is it sunk cost fallacy? Have you heard of this? Is it called sunk cost fallacy? Oh my God, have I just made up this entire phrase? Also sounds like phallus, so I'm really worried.
Oh, for God's sake.
That I've made up something rude. Are you Googling it? Sunk cost.
She's dyslexic. Don't even bother. It's
Is
a thing.
it? Can you just give us the definition, please? It's sort
Come
of
on,
when
Martin.
you...
I think it's when you think you've invested in it, so you need to keep investing more.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. So you get 3/4 of the way through a really bad film and you think, well, I may as well finish
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Rather
Got it.
than just letting...
I did that with cooking. I'm
not
like, well, I've
wasting
made
more
it
money.
now. I might as well finish making it.
Exactly. So this is the thing with a lot of my decisions. This is what I struggle with. I think I've
got
started
this
it
far.
now and I
I've started,
sort
so I'll
of need
finish.
to go on with it, you know. Like the other week I was trying on this ring that I knew did not go on this finger, will not go on, has never been able to go on it. And I thought, I'll just see if I can get it on this time. It was on for a week. I just couldn't get it off. And it was massive. It was this vintage Bulgari ring that I never wear because it's ridiculous. It looks like I'm sort of some oil baron's wife. And because it's so massive and it's just got diamonds all over it, it's ridiculous. I can't put my fingers together.
Nice.
So I spent a week cleansing
chopping.
my face like this, not being able to hold anything because my hand was stuck like this. That was one of those decisions.
How did this affect you when you were modelling?
This is what the book's about. It's the fact that I would make a split-second decision. I'd think, no, I won't get the cab. I'll just get on the metro in Paris. And then I'd end up getting lost on the metro. I'd be late.
Or maybe getting on an airplane and going on holiday with a complete stranger.
Right, I know you've got a big problem with this.
I've really got a big problem with
So
this.
there's a chapter in the book where I went on a 5-day luxury holiday with a man
This
I
is
didn't
really
know.
good. You're going to love this.
Now, the thing about it was, I'd met him a couple of times before, but he lied and said that all the people that we knew in New York were going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call the place Morocco. I've changed a couple of things because I didn't want... it's not even about being sued. I think he had quite a powerful dad and I just don't want to get killed. So, let's say when we got to Morocco, hello?
That's only our producer. Don't worry about it. The one who goes, can everyone make sure their phones are off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So professional.
Morocco.
I had said, look, everyone else is coming, aren't they? He was like, yeah. Bought my ticket, landed in Morocco. I text all the people that I knew on the way to say, see you there.
See you there.
And then as I landed and turned on my phone, all these messages came through saying, see you where? I was, oh, shit. Got out, it's just this guy. And I said, where's everyone else? And he was sort of like, oh, they'll be coming.
Now,
they didn't
at
come.
that point,
Yeah.
was there not a matador in front of you with a big red flag?
Right, so first of all, I was very used to going all around the world and just being met by a random guy and then being driven somewhere. So that
Slightly
wasn't that
concerning.
scary.
Your poor mother, but okay.
She just didn't know. Secondly, I did genuinely think that they were all going to turn up. It wasn't until about 1 or 2 nights in when I thought, they're
I'm
not
on my
coming,
own
aren't
here.
they? I mean, they're just...
But their text to you saying we're not coming didn't also raise a red flag.
Some of them didn't text back.
Which
So
is
I
also
just
not a
clung
red
on,
flag. Okay,
clung
you're
on.
clinging on for hope at this point that you're not about to be murdered, like taken.
I told you about his girlfriend that didn't speak as well, didn't I?
Yes, I did, because she didn't have permission to speak.
So I'd always thought that he was slightly strange because a couple of times I've met him, he had this girlfriend, she was a very young model and she didn't speak or respond to anything. And so I thought that she couldn't hear or speak. Turns out, when I said, how's your girlfriend? And he said, we're no longer together. And I said, it must have been quite hard with her not being able to hear or speak.
Being deaf and mute.
I did say deaf and mute. I wasn't quite sure about whether I could.
Well, you said it at the time because you thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
But she wasn't
No.
deaf.
He said no.
Nor was
no.
she mute.
I just don't think that he ever let her speak. He used to order her food. So anyway, he's massively rich, this guy. He's got a yacht, jet skis, is just good at everything, knows how to use the right knife and fork for everything. I'm from Redditch. I had been working in McDonald's until about, a few years before that, drive a Metro GTI, have no clue, didn't grow up with any money. I managed to wear the wrong outfit to every single thing we go to.
Shocking. Knowing you as well as I do, I find that utterly shocking. But do
It was
carry
so
on.
bad. Culminating with, so I end up on this holiday. To be fair to him, doesn't try it on at all. Not really. But then he says, we're going to fly to Libya today on a little extra trip, a private island. I can't remember whether it was Libya. I'm sort of changing things around a bit. I was like, okay, this is getting weird.
Didn't have a friend called Epstein, did he? I just want to check that was.
No, it wasn't that kind of island. There was actually nobody on this island.
Okay, great. Even better.
That night, on the last night, he did try and crawl in with me. I didn't put that in the book. I thought, my editor said, you know what, Ruth, this gets a bit too dark, so let's leave this bit out.
Your friends were already having panic attacks. Your mother's crying.
Thing is, I'd already seen his willy
What?
when
Wait.
he had his feet up on the coffee table and we were chatting over breakfast. You know, in someone's shorts, in the gap, down the shorts, and it was just all little and coiled, like, you know, right?
Oh.
It was really small.
Oh, no. And that's
so
when
I
you
was
don't want to
already-
find out if he's a grower, not a shower.
I didn't want to find out anyway. He was actually quite a good-looking guy.
Oh,
He was very
no.
groomed, put together. I mean, anyone would have
No,
thought
stop.
eligible, right? Massively rich.
But you left all of this out of the book.
I did. There were I left so much out of the book. The book was about half as long again, but I was only allowed 90,000 words, so I had to chop a lot of it. But when he crawled into the bed with me,
Well, wait, where were you sleeping? Where was he sleeping?
I was in my own room.
And he came into your room?
He crawled in.
No.
Got in behind me.
No.
I have never planked so hard in my life. If you had been able to get a crowbar into my buttocks, you would not. Why did I just say that?
I love that.
Can you please cut that
No,
bit out?
absolutely not.
There was no. You couldn't have got a Rizzler paper in there. I was
Was he
clenched as
naked?
tight as a
Was he
clam.
naked?
I don't
Were
know
you
because I didn't
naked?
turn round. I went
Were
like
you
this.
naked?
I can't remember what I had on. It
But
after-
he's trying to spoon and you're like, this is absolutely not going to happen.
It was after the horse riding incident.
Oh,
so I was
Jesus
really
Christ.
sore. I had loads of pinpricks all over me because I went bareback horse riding.
And people wonder why a book about not being a supermodel would be interesting.
And I had these jeans on they were all ripped, right? Oh my God, they were so hideous. And they had about 1,000 tiny golden safety pins all the way up the inside.
And you put your legs on a horse while you were wearing them.
I wore those.
Oh, the poor horse.
No saddle. Because
But the
I said,
poor
yeah, I've done
horse.
bareback riding
But the
before.
poor horse with the safety pins, Ruth.
That's maybe why he galloped along the beach. Maybe one popped open. Anyway, by the time I got off, they'd all just gone ping, 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 ping. They'd all stuck into my legs. So when he crawled in and tried to do this, whatever, I don't know what he was really trying to do, spoon.
But how do you get out of that?
I just planked.
I've been in that situation where someone has crawled into a bed next to me and I've gone, oh, this is not my husband, obviously, pre my husband.
I've done it with Rich.
I do it now, but no. And I've been like, oh, this is absolutely not going to happen. Thank God I was in pajamas though. And you went home after that, yes? Can we just
This was the last day. He sort of slunk off and that was fine.
Gave it
there
up.
wasn't, I mean, how lucky is that though? That it could have been very different.
It could have been
couldn't it?
very different, which is why when I read it, I was like, how has she
There's a
never
whole
told me this
There's a
story?
whole chop.
There's a whole chapter.
There's a chapter called "Ways I Could Have Died," because when I was writing it, I was thinking, how did I not die then?
Yeah.
How did I live through that one?
Yeah. I mean, maybe you are more street savvy than I give you credit for.
Or lucky?
Or lucky. Just really bloody lucky. How was the process for Rich when he read the chapter about him, which I read first, obviously?
It's the only time I've seen him cry, and I only saw
I find
him.
that really weird that you don't see Rich cry. He's not a crier.
He's not
Not when
crying.
you had kids?
Nope. Yeah, but I was off my tits on whatever
So
they
you wouldn't
put
know
into
anyway.
you, so
Yeah, fair enough.
I have no idea.
But it's not even that soppy. The last couple of lines you write are soppy, but in a lovely way.
Do you think, though, that reading 2 chapters of a book that directly talk about you through the eyes of somebody you love and that loves you must be quite... When I was writing, I was thinking, this will be quite a weird thing to read in a way.
Maybe.
Because you relive all of those memories, don't you?
Yeah.
And there's so much sort of heart that's gone into it, to remembering and knowing the way that someone remembers something as well.
So for context, for those who don't know and have not got your book, you met Rich on the job because he's a photographer.
Yes. He shot my first ever pictures. We didn't get together then.
No.
Took years and years of dicking around.
Well, mainly
Really?
you dicking him around, really.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
And how many years
Yeah.
ago?
that would have been 24 years ago. I
And
reckon.
how many children?
No, 23 years ago.
And how many children?
2 children.
And how
ago.
old?
9 and 7.
Who'd have thought?
I know.
Camo rich?
You were looking at me really strangely then, and I was thinking, these questions are really freaking me out.
Why?
It was like a quick
It's like
fire,
the
and I was
easiest
thinking,
question I've ever asked you. How old are your children? What are they? Oh my
Who
God.
and children? Yes.
What was the strangest transition from both working as like photographer model to then giving it up and doing blogging and writing and then becoming parents? That journey must be quite weird.
I don't know. It all melds into one.
It's just what you do, isn't it? It's
well,
just what you
because
do.
we've always been at home together full time.
Yeah. Which
Because-
would make a lot of people split up.
Oh, I mean, the amount of time that's why we've always said our house is the most important thing to us. And we would spend money on nothing else so long as we spent it all on the house, because we spend all our time at home.
In the house, yeah.
And so in a way, there
Which
hasn't
is lovely,
been,
though.
Yeah, we just sort of pootle around and get on really well. But because of that, I think there wasn't any transition. We just spent a lot of time together with no free time. I mean, with all free time,
Yeah.
I suppose. And now we spend a lot of time together with no real
With absolutely no free time.
And you do start to feel like, we always joke that it's a bit like being, managers at the Ritz or something, that you're looking after these 2 really high profile, really demanding guests. And you're just sort of swapping over. Rich is there with an apple sliced perfectly so that, one of them will eat it. And I'm going the other way with something else, warmed milk or whatever, for table 3. And you're thinking, how did we get here?
Yeah.
But in a way, it doesn't feel, I suppose because it's been so gradual, it doesn't really feel that different. And because I'm always shooting mad shit, let's face it, at home.
I mean, did he know he was going to have a second career shooting you doing like ads for Sky where you're hanging out the roof at 11 p.m. pretending to be a beetle?
Do you know what? A lot of the time, he doesn't get involved. So I set up the tripod because my thing is, I don't know whether this happens with Jim. Does your voice change when you talk to Jim? Yeah.
Obviously. Usually like,
So I hear my
Or like,
voice change. Yeah. It's a different, it's one that is only for them, isn't it?
oh.
Not in that way. I find that if he's recording, I don't.
You turn into a model photographer sitch.
Yeah, it's just I can't do it.
You
I'm
can't be as goofy.
Yeah. So the thing with the bugs, I did
Because
on my
he's
own,
cynical.
and he is cynical. Yeah. And also, what I don't want to happen is sometimes most of the time I don't even tell him the ideas that I've got now, because I don't want him to do the face where he does the eyebrow.
Really?
And
Is that a good
Because then I
idea?
think, oh, maybe it is a bad idea.
They're
But
never
you've got
bad
a
ideas.
vision.
They're
you know.
very entertaining.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
the most ridiculous thing you've ever done.
The giant poo coming out of the colon. Remember that one? I feel like we need to link to that.
We'll link to it, don't worry.
I had to do a Sky job, and it was for MC Grammar. Have you heard of him? Oh my God, he's amazing. It's this guy who raps kids' books.
Right, that would be why
He
I
was a
haven't heard of
teacher,
him.
and now, Sky, I think, bought his entire catalogue of videos. But he'd done one about the digestive system, and it was how to teach the kids about the digestive system. And Sky said to me, or my agency, can Ruth do something about rapping? And she can choose volcanoes, digestive system. So I sent back my creative and said, can I dress as a giant poo? I bought a brown sleeping bag and I just have my face poking out of it like this with the thing tight. And I'm going to make a kid's tunnel. You know those play tunnels? I'm going to wrap it in red. It's going to be a colon, a rectum. And I'm going to emerge from it rapping. They went, yeah, all right then. Yeah. I learned the rap. I lip synced. That was the hardest part. But apparently they still use it internally.
No pun intended.
I don't think it's like an example of best practice, but they use it just to show what can be done.
What can be done.
The world's your oyster, guys. Look at what you could be doing.
Model to poo.
to feces.
Can we do some skincare stuff before I get shouted at? Because everyone who watches is going to be like, well, I want to know what Ruth uses on her face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Biggest beauty or skincare disaster, and we can't talk about our hair today as one of them. We'll do that in listeners' questions. That's why we're both. That's why we're both in a bun.
All right.
Because I feel like we should save that for part 2 when we take our hair down.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Biggest beauty or skincare disaster?
When I was in Germany once, the makeup artist said, I need to bleach your eyebrows off. And I said no. Do you remember there was that real trend and then everyone looked like aliens and you sort of have this eyebrow bone hump rather than an eyebrow? I said, absolutely not. Anyway, ended up not peer pressure, but pressure from the people on the crew and the photographer. I let them do it. And then just before I went home, this is in the book actually, they dyed them back in my natural colour. And it dyed every single tiny hair around the eyebrow as well. So I had these big rectangle things. I didn't even notice till I got to the airport. That was pretty bad. I think all of my biggest beauty disasters have been at the hands of other people.
People doing things to you as a model, like haircuts.
I think it made me actually more safe and more cautious with my skincare because I'd had things happen to me.
The nice dodgy haircuts.
God, so many dodgy haircuts.
Can we get some pictures of those, please? Will you send me some pictures?
Yeah.
If you've got any? Okay, they're going on. Okay. What's your current skincare routine, Ruth?
Current skincare routine is, I know this always really winds you up, but I never do a proper cleanse in the morning.
I don't care if you don't do a proper, as long as you've taken it off at night.
Yes, I do my big cleanse at night.
Yes.
And do you know what I do? And you probably won't like this, but the flannel that is still damp and smells lovely from the night before, I do a cursory. I just can't stand running water on my face in the morning.
Okay.
I don't like it. So I do a cursory thing over with that. Then I do a gentle exfoliant, wipe over.
What kind of gentle exfoliant, please, today?
Acid. I've got yours on the go at the moment.
Oh, thanks very much.
Very lovely. I used to be into the whole really glycolic peel things, right? Like the peel pads and stuff like that. Now, I'm just like, no, let's keep the face on an even keel. I don't want downtime. I don't want dryness, flakiness. I don't want to have to purge it and see it through. I just want my skin to feel strong, healthy, and sort of resilient. So I'm finding that these gentle acids, oh my God, so much better, little and often, rather than these huge peels.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a real thing for them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
it's like no one's got any skin barrier left. So I do gentle exfoliant, antioxidant, and then in with my moisturiser stroke SPF. Normally is one product because
At night time,
lazy.
when you wash your face.
Mega cleanse, LED face mask, well into it.
Nice. Which one do you use?
The Current Body.
Right.
Disclaimer, add current brand partner.
But you didn't have to mention them in this.
I didn't have to mention them, no, so no obligation to post. But you asked me what brand. I wasn't going to say what brand, and then I was like,
of course, people want to know. We'll just put a little disclaimer across the bottom. It'll be absolutely fine.
the red light one only. Now, when I first had that, I thought, people have gone mad with these gadgets. There's no way any of them work. It's just another way of making people spend money. I am the biggest convert, and
Good.
yeah, love them. I love the relaxation of the sort of feeling like you're kind of on the beach, but not.
How long do you leave it on for?
It shuts off after 10 minutes.
Right. It's quite a long time.
Is it?
Yeah, the DDG one's 3.
Is that because it's stronger? Or
No, I think it's just that,
Oh
just
God! Imagine if my face
FDA
starts
versus,
falling off.
It won't. FDA versus EU is just different.
Oh, okay. My dog, I don't know whether it must emit some kind of high frequency noise or it's just that I look like I'm a psycho.
Probably.
The dog, as soon as I now pick it up off the floor, he runs.
Done.
Yeah.
Legging it.
So I do that. So cleanse, LED mask, retinoid.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. 3
Simple.
steps. 3 steps morning. It's like Clinique in the 90s, but not shit.
Or the 60s.
No, come on. The 3-step was bad, wasn't
So
it?
bad.
The soap.
Soap.
I mean, I love Clinique.
Clarifying lotion.
The clarifying lotion.
I mean, it still sells. The soap, the clarifying lotion.
they
1,
still
2,
make
3,
that?
4. Yeah, and DDML. Dramatically different moisturising
Wasn't into
lotion.
that. I wasn't into any of those steps.
No.
However, I mean, like if you could change the 3 steps now and do take the day off, any of the serums, which were all
Take the
brilliant,
day off or an acid and moisturiser.
and any of the moisturisers, that would be the 3 steps.
If your bathroom is on fire, it's the one product you're
Do
going
you
to
know what?
save.
It'd have a job because it's all tiled.
Oh, for God's sake.
But okay.
You don't have to be so literal.
Well, I was just trying to imagine how that would work.
Good to know tiles can't go on fire.
I've got a stack of magazines though, so they'd go
Okay,
up.
great. So let's assume that
Yes,
the
sorry,
magazines
yeah.
have gone up in flames.
Yes.
Your bathroom cabinet's on fire. What are you saving?
What, one product?
Yep.
Oh, this was going to be my question for you for the thing
Well,
later.
you can ask me later. It's
Okay,
fine.
fine. All right. As in one category or one actual
No, one
product?
actual thing.
Oh, for God's sake.
It doesn't have to be skin. It can be anything that's in there. What else is in there?
Have I told you about...
No,
oh,
I'm
God, I
worried.
can't say this on film.
Oh, God. Oh,
Kill me.
brace yourselves for incoming. Rich.
So I've got this. Oh, I'm blushing even thinking about this. Hold on.
God.
I've got this oil spray, right? And it's called... It's from Mowley Skin Rituals.
Yeah.
Right? And it's called something like Sacred... I can't remember what it's called.
Not Sacred Fanny or just... It's along those lines.
It should be called Sacred
Okay.
Fanny, right?
Okay.
Because if I ever want it, if I spray on a bit, he doesn't know this.
Yeah, of course.
If I spray on a bit
We
of
all
this
have our
stuff,
secrets.
it works every single time, this stuff.
Really?
It's
We'll put a
like-
link, everyone. Don't worry.
It
We'll put a link.
smells of
Oh, everyone's
sort of-
paying attention now.
Yeah.
They were like this a minute ago. Now
I
everyone's
know.
put down
Look
phones.
at the
Even
eyes.
Tom's
Eyes are on
winking.
me. Hey?
Okay.
It's called, can somebody please just Google it right now
We'll
so I
find
can put it in?
It's M-A-U-L-I.
M-A-U-L-I. Sacred something.
Something spray. Where do
Yeah.
you spray it?
I fucking knew you were going to ask this.
Sacred Union?
Sacred Union! Sacred
way.
Union.
No way.
Does what it says on the tin.
Okay,
Right?
this is. I just want you to make sure that you're looking on Ruth's face when I tell her that you do know that my son Max edits these videos.
Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. He'll be all right.
He'll be like,
He's heard me say worse. To
He
be
probably
fair.
has heard you say worse for a long
Pulse
time.
points. Seeing that Max is going
Pulse
to edit,
points.
I'm just going to say
So you don't
pulse
actually go.
points.
Shh.
No.
Okay.
I'd be too scared of getting cystitis from
Well,
it.
yeah, fair enough.
I don't want to put anything directly
So you'd
on there.
save the Sacred Union spray
I would save
because
that.
then if the house is on fire, at least you can have a shag around the back.
As it burns. Oh my God, what image.
Okay, this is going swimmingly. What is your buy it for life product? But I think you've just answered that. Buy it for life product.
Oh,
What
okay.
do you buy you never without?
Philip Kingsley Flaky Itchy Scalp Shampoo and
Okay,
Conditioner.
we're right back down to earth with a bang now because there's nothing sexy about that.
No.
Okay, great.
Well, I don't know. They sent me, when I was doing something for them last year, a scalp camera. Really, really.
No,
so you
don't
put it
do
through. Oh my God, it was amazing. The difference between having, I mean, to be honest, you could just wash your hair and it would, do the same thing. It's just having flakes and then it being clean. But it's one of the only, when I was in the shower the other day, I was thinking to myself, do you formulate posts in the shower and little catchphrases and stuff?
Catchphrases and
Yeah.
more product. More
I-
like, I should do that. Oh, I'll do this today.
Oh no, I
should
think
text Liv about
I think
blah,
of
blah, blah.
complete sentences that I'm then going to write into posts and
Oh,
stuff.
no.
I have to come straight out and then
But
I'm
you're
onto
a
my
writer.
phone. Yeah, so I thought ideas come to me, and I was using that shampoo and conditioner, and then in my head I was saying, I will buy this until my dying day, unless I was thinking of all these different sentences that I would put into a
dramatic
post.
approach.
Oh yeah, it was quite dramatic. But it's one of the only, it's just, I go back to it again and again and again. I used to have a really bad scalp when I was modelling. And I remember a hairdresser saying to me, because there was just so much product build up all the time.
Yeah.
And there was something in certain dry shampoos as well that just, still does in some of them, just makes my scalp just flare and go really sore and really itchy. And this hairdresser said, you need the clearest shampoo you can find. And then he recommended a couple. And I think that's always been the thing for me, is finding something that, oh my God, this has gone really boring, hasn't it?
Well, people who want to know about good shampoos and a flaky scalp, we're sorted.
We've gone from
Philip
here
Kingsley.
to here
I feel like I know.
in the space of 30 seconds.
But that's the joy of it. I feel like I know the answer to the next one too.
Yeah, go on then.
But
I
I
can
think
think
it
of
might-
a different product for each, to be quite honest
What
with
is your
you.
favourite smell of a product? But I think that might be Rich's favourite smell of a product without him knowing.
L'Occitane, the almond range.
Yeah.
But not the shower gel. For some reason, the shower gel always smells different to me.
It's
that
also,
shower
you could
oil.
kill yourself with that shower gel. I've had
What,
many a
slipping
slip.
over?
Yeah.
Many a slip.
Many a slip. No, I've got the tiny little pot of the body lotion on today. Love, very nice. Good choice.
And I like the packaging It all feels very old school French, doesn't it?
It
It's
really
just
does.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They're also onto a winner because they own Sol de Janeiro, so they are raking it in.
And who else do they own that I found out the other day? Elemis.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
cha-chings all round.
My God.
What's your favourite self-care activity? Keep it clean.
Self-care. I mean, when you say activity, where does my
Okay.
mind go to?
How do you relax? Like, I get on the sofa, fire on the sofa with a blanket, watch telly.
Yeah.
Don't even know if I've got the effort to drink a brew at that point. I'm just like...
My favourite thing that just makes me so happy is knowing that I'm going to be at home for at least a week stretch in front of me.
Nice. I never get that.
Because then I'm in the routine with the kids, and then I'm in my routine with Rich. We cook, we get our plates, we sit in front of the TV.
You do your hour.
We do our hour, connecting.
Do you ever watch a film?
Sometimes.
Like, what if it's longer than an hour?
I do it, yeah. But 2 hours, I mean, I'm really pushing it. If he ever says a film and it's a weeknight, I'm like, you do realise it's 8:30. And that's not going to finish for at least 2 hours.
So when would you binge watch something then?
Never.
You don't binge anything?
Because I've always got a book on the go. So in the back of my head, I cannot wait to
get in bed.
Get into bed, so I scroll the internet while I've got the LED mask on, which is probably going to eventually make me go blind.
Probably, yeah, great.
But I've got those little goggle things that you stick through.
Right.
So I look at my phone like this through the goggles. I do my bit of scrolling like this, thinking, God, I'm going to go blind. All the time having this underlying anxiety that the LED lights are somehow, lasering
really relaxing,
my vision.
basically.
That's really relaxing. And then I finish off all my stories or whatever I've got to do for that night, put my phone down, and then I read until I go to sleep.
Wow.
And
Sounds...
is that self-care?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love being at home though.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
my thing. Just for
If
me,
we ever
that
leave,
is
we're like,
self-care.
we're leaving the house. Okay.
Yeah, same. This is novel.
Makeup, just to touch on. Because you do like doing your little, routines on Insta.
Do you think though, it's always the same makeup though, isn't it? I very rarely deviate from my look. If you look at
I don't
somebody
think
like
anyone deviates from their look at our
Case
age.
Jane Hughes.
But she's a makeup artist.
I know.
It's
but
different.
when
Case
Sam...
Jane Hughes does things with the brushes I don't think Picasso could do. When she goes, she'll just put this hideous stripe of something horrible on her face, and then
Yeah.
she'll get a brush and go, vroom,
I
and
know,
she looks
it
like a
looks
model.
amazing.
Piss off. Can't be
Yeah.
doing with it. Gets on my nerves, frankly.
And Sam
she's
and
too
Nick,
talented.
and
all
and
of
you
them.
look at,
all of them.
I know, and they do all these different looks,
Yeah.
and I think, oh God, I should, if I'm going to do makeup routines,
you
I
keep
should be
it real.
changing it up a bit. But I feel like I do that. I do keep it real.
If you can only wear one item of makeup for the rest of your life, what's it going to be? Like mine has to be blusher, which you found out sadly to your...
However, have you ever tried? Yeah, I know. I just did my makeup and I needed to blend out my makeup, and I said
I
to
wasn't
Caroline,
in the room, and Ruth said, "Can I use your brush?"
I use your big brush?
And I said, "Yeah."
For some reason, I thought it would be just without product, but it was preloaded with about 5,000 applications of really pigmented, bright pink blusher.
I'm a northern nan. What do you expect?
So, right, but what would it look like if you did no other makeup? This is what I think people don't think
If
through.
I didn't put any blusher on.
No. So people do this question. They go, oh, yeah, I'd just do, I don't know, eyebrows, right? How would your
You'd look
face
a freak
look
if you only did eyebrows.
did nothing else and just your eyebrows, or nothing else and just blush? Have you thought this through?
All right, then mascara.
So mine would be a toss-up between mascara and just something like the Vive complexion balm, like
Yeah.
a really
Yeah.
lovely
Skin
low
Nova.
key. Because let's face it, you wouldn't if you picked foundation.
Why'd you have to be? This is why are you like this?
What do you mean?
Why can't you just answer the fucking question?
Oh, sorry.
Why are you like this?
Sorry.
You have to go down this whole tangent of intelligent thought. It's a podcast asking you about your favourite makeup item. Just answer the fucking question.
Do you know? I feel like I owe it to people. I owe it to people to have thought about it carefully, though. Do you know what I mean? I don't want them rushing out and going, oh, I'll just go and buy a blush.
A
then if that's
loaded
the only thing I
blusher
need.
brush. That's not going to happen.
And they'll go around with no makeup on.
Okay, if your makeup bag smashed on the floor, what would you
Yeah.
be most gutted about breaking? And you can't say, well, my lipstick wouldn't break. Just work with me here, Miss Analytical. You were going to say that when you were going to say, well, I'd still have all my blushes.
Oh, I was thinking, what would break? None of it. I mean, it'd be cushioned.
Can you see what it's like trying to be our friend? Can you see what it's like trying to have any kind of conversation whatsoever? It's just like, well, no, but that wouldn't happen because in
I do
1832...
hate this question, though, because it all works in tandem, doesn't it? If you just saved one thing...
So you're going to save your makeup bag. Save your makeup bag. There you go. No one's ever said that. I'd save my makeup bag. I've taken care of it for you now. She can't even answer yes to that. Do you feel what I mean? You know, are you constipated or what? What is going on?
I was really thinking, what was my face like when I was thinking then? I will be when I start taking that iron tablets.
Oh, for God's sake. We can't.
Right,
Let's
what would I
save that
say
for listeners' questions?
Do you know what my most used makeup product is, I reckon?
Steady, we might get an answer. Go on.
The Vive Eye Wand in either mahogany or coffee.
Oh,
So I've got on now just
Good
to do a
answer.
little... But since my eyes have started going that way, I find that I can cheat them, right, by applying the darkness, blending it out, but cheating it upwards at an angle. And it just about creates an optical illusion that counteracts.
lucky you. I
the
can't
lids.
do that at my age. I've got to get surgery. They're hanging off. It's hanging by a thread. Right, let's just wrap this up. I think what's interesting is if people like this lot are going, I can't understand anything that's happened here. No one's going to listen to this. But if you remember our very first YouTube video
I feel it's quite disordered.
Yeah, but that's us.
Okay, fine.
But I've had so many requests when people said, oh, you're doing second episode, second season of the pod. Can you and Ruth please film another YouTube video like you used to? When you pulled a pair of fucking high heels and a candle out of your handbag and just put them down as if it was just perfectly normal for that to happen.
Did you see that video the other day? And this guy on the radio is going through his co-host bag, and he's just crying with laughter. And then he
Yes,
pulls
the avocado.
out half an avocado.
The half an avocado. That would be you.
I properly laughed
That
out
would
loud.
be you. And I pulled out a bag of £60 worth of change because I was using meters at the time because there was no apps on phones. And you were like, this is a fucking weapon because it was literally pound
Oh,
coins.
yeah, you could put it in a sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruth.
I feel like no one's going to have any context to me, though, if they don't know me. We went straight in talking about Frozen.
Okay, so
Right?
describe
And the
yourself
book.
in 5 sentences.
No, I can't do that in 5 sentences.
Don't worry, we'll link to your bio and shit. It'll be fine.
Ruth Crilly is a British veteran model, writer,
We didn't even talk about the
Sunday
okay.
Times bestselling author.
We didn't even talk about like the photographers. We've worked with all of them. All your shoots.
prolific blogger,
Prolific blogger and writer.
beauty insider,
Sunday Times best-selling author.
and mother.
No one cares. Save that
Did I?
Save
Do
that
you know
for
what?
listeners'
I never
questions.
mention it. I feel like it's the least interesting thing about
No, it's
me.
really not because your kids are immense. But we'll do that.
I
in
know,
listeners'
but
questions.
for other people, no one wants to hear about other people's kids.
No,
It's
and
not
I
interesting.
know for a fact when I get the phone out, I can feel people around me groan, knowing
They
they're going to have to
shrivel.
look at my grandchildren. I can feel
I
them
don't,
go,
because I do.
not
I do
again.
actually. But there are only selected people.
Only selected people. I do
where I
try and
can
wind my
cope
neck
with
in.
it.
I don't go to people on the tube. Oh, do you want to see my grandkids? But you know,
But it's when people you don't know very well, then they start doing it, and you think
I don't care.
zero interest.
Yeah, your kids
I've forgotten
are ugly.
their names, and it was only 10
Your
seconds
kids are
ago.
ugly. Like you shouldn't have bred. Like
God, why do you have to take it one step further?
because I know it makes you go outraged and it's good
I know,
for the
but
visuals.
I would never think that. You're so
Yes,
mean.
you liar. You lying whore. You absolute. Don't you dare sit there and say we have never discussed how unattractive other people's kids are.
What? I've never discussed that. I feel like children grow into their faces.
Okay,
That's
we'll
what
leave
I've
it there.
said.
Do you have a burning question for me? I feel like you could get your revenge if you really thought about it.
Right, do you know what? I was going to ask you a serious question.
Oh no.
But this takes us off on a real tangent, though.
Oh, okay, thank God that hasn't happened before.
The first tangent we're going to go off on. Right. If you didn't want to have any kind of injectables or aesthetic treatments, what's the best thing you can do for, I can see these lines starting to come on my lips now. What can I put on that?
Retinoids.
Yeah, do that already.
Retinoids.
There's no like intensive.
Like the Zip Halo. You could try and keep that round there.
Okay.
But-
have you seen that thing that people put in their mouth and then it's like a giant pair of lips on top?
You could try. I mean, they're trying to rejuvenate, but ultimately, if you have spent 40-ish years talking, smoking, which you did for a long time, how long did you smoke for?
10 years.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's what it is.
It's
I try not to do that otherwise.
it's this, it's that. So, yeah, because I don't really have those, but I've never smoked. And I spend so much time talking. I feel like when people go, "Oh, do you do face yoga?" I'm like, "No, I just nag." So that was your burning question, yes?
No, if you were going on a desert island,
Okay.
and you can only take one skincare product, I've thought this through so much to various scenarios. I just want to know if you're on the same wavelength. What product would you take? There's no shade, but you're surrounded by seawater. There's maybe a freshwater spring, and there is a coconut tree. This is very important that you know this, because I've thought all this out. I'm so proud of myself. Last night, I was going to sleep. I was thinking about my burning question.
Right.
And I thought about a whole skincare routine I could design using nature, but there would be only one thing I'd need to take.
I'd take you then.
Okay, tell me though. See if you can get through my conundrum.
I wouldn't take an SPF.
Why?
Because I'm going to die. I've got no food. What's the point?
It's coconut tree.
How long do you think coconut water can sustain you? How many
And
biohackers are you following?
The flesh of the coconut. Fish from the sea.
I'm not fishing. Sorry. How are you going to eat it? Raw? Yeah. Come on.
You like
behave.
sushi?
Okay.
You could live for ages. You could
I
get
would
rescued.
take,
Let's
I would
assume
take
you're gonna get
some
rescued.
kind of a balm that I could use to wash the salt water off my face, but also to nourish it afterwards when it's dried out from the salt water.
Wasted product.
God.
Coconut oil. Nature's cleanser.
Right.
So you don't need to take your balm. Go on, you've got a free. You can take
but
something
how are
else
you going to
now.
extract the oil, Ruth?
Sharp stick.
Okay. Got a Bunsen burner anywhere or any kind of heat or?
The sun.
Okay.
A magnifying
Because at the
glass.
moment you've got coconut.
Oh balls! Look, you don't have to take it so literally. For God's
Hot
sake.
kettle, big fucking black. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So
What
you
would
can
you
take a balm. SPF.
You liar.
Because it's the only thing I can't cover with everything else.
You can't. Okay, whatever.
Only for my face. So like my body would be burnished. I'd be like Giselle by the time I got back.
With a
got
white
rescued.
face.
With a white face, but I can do some tanning drop. Oh, tanning drops. It's a big good one to take.
Yeah, because you really need tanning drops on a desert island.
Can you imagine if that's what
Jesus
you chose
Christ, I
to
need a
take?
break. We can't go straight into listeners' questions. I'm absolutely exhausted. Thanks for
Thanks.
joining us, Ruth.
That's all right. Thanks for having
Your book
me.
is available
In
now.
hardback, ebook, and audiobook from all good booksellers.
All good booksellers.
Yeah.
And when's the paperback out?
Oh God, like
Next year.
next year sometime. Yeah.
And where can people find you?
They can find me at Ruth Crilly on Instagram and on Substack. A Model Recommends. Brought back the old
AMR.
The AMR brand name.
Or in your bathroom spraying Sacred Union on your
Onto my
vajay.
life.
Bye.
God.